Shalom, and thank you for watching this video from HaDerekh Synagogue. I hope you are liking the content we are bringing you. If you could like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that will greatly help us. And to further help bring great content to you from our teachers, if you could please consider to donate to HaDerekh Synagogue. The link is in the description box below. Thank you for watching.
So simcha, while often translated as joy, is best described as happiness. With this elusive happiness in the forefront of our mind, let's take a look at a text from the book of Devarim, Kisavo. Now, Kisavo begins with Bikurim, today. Contrary to some popular thought seen on the internet, Bikurim is not the sheaf offering that's done that begins Sephiras HaOmer, or the Sunday after Passover, as the Sadducees would believe. One cannot shoehorn the resurrection of Messiah, Bikurim, and the wave sheaf offering into one day. Instead, Bikurim is the mitzvah attached to Shavuot, where we present the first of the land's produce that is given to the Beis HaMikdash, the temple. This produce is not brought in a King Soopers or a Publix bag. Instead, it's brought in a basket. The basket is an important aspect to this command. We bring the basket of produce to the priest who shall be in those days. That's how the Torah says it. At some point in the future, I hope to talk more and clarify the nomenclature of who shall be in those days. That's a bit of a talk, so that's why I don't want to do that here. But what's interesting is the same terminology is used in reference to the Kohen. In those days refers to the idea that even if he is not like those who came before, like Pinchas or Aharon, we still must listen to him. When we bring our Bikurim in a basket, we set it before Hashem, and we declare before that priest, before our priest, and we say this: I profess this day to a Hashem, your God, that I came to the land Hashem promised to our fathers to give us. Further, we say, Arami Avad Avi. My father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down into Mitzrayim and sojourned there. Few in number, and he became a great, mighty, and populous nation. The Mitzrayim dealt ill with us, afflicted us, and laid heavy bondage upon us. We cried to Hashem, the God of our fathers, and Hashem heard our voice. He saw our affliction, our toil, and our oppression. Hashem brought us up from Mitzrayim with a mighty hand, with an outstretched arm, with great terribleness, with signs and with wonders. He brought us into this place and has given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now look, I have brought the first of the fruit of the land which you, Hashem, gave me. Once we make this declaration, the Torah states, you shall set it down before Hashem your God and worship Hashem your God there, and you shall be happy in all the good Hashem your God has given you, your house, you, the Levi, and the Ger in your midst. And here we have it, that elusive happiness, or that elusive simcha. You shall be happy. The season of joy is not only Matan Torah, which is a giving of the Torah, but it is a realization that through the mitzvah of Bikurim, that Hashem is keeping the promises given to our fathers and to us in Torah. Now we return to the basket. Why the basket? The basket is needed to carry the produce, of course. But without a basket, the produce doesn't reach the Beis HaMikdash. Without the produce, the basket is simply an empty basket. And so I'd like to tell you a little story. And I know that last time I did a midrash, it didn't go over very well, but hopefully this one will. There was a rabbi who would be visited fairly frequently by Eliyahu. Now, we talked about Pinchas, and here he is again. One day, in the midst of one of their discussions, the rabbi stops mid-thought and asks, "Who is going to be in the world to come?" Eliyahu replied, "No one." This shocked the rabbi into silence. As the rabbi fought to untie his tongue, Eliyahu looked around and points toward a man walking with a definite purpose and says, "Well, you see that guy over there? He's going to enter the world to come." So the rabbi rushes over to the man and asks, "May I speak with you?" The man bluntly says, "No." Now, this man isn't dressed as a Jew. He doesn't wear a kippah. There's no zitzios hanging from his talus katan, and his face is freshly clean shaven. "Come back tomorrow," he says, and off he went. The next day, the rabbi finds a man and asks him what he does. The man replies, "I go to the jails and I sit with the people who are incarcerated. I go to the town hall meetings and taverns and I listen to the people. If there's a threat to the local Jewish people, I warn the rabbi so they know for what to pray and know how to warn our people in order to help them protect themselves. I dress this way in order to blend in." As the rabbi makes his way home, Eliyahu says, "Oh, those two guys over there leaning against the street sign, they're going to be in the world to come." So again, the rabbi rushes over and asks them their story, which they reply, "We're jesters. We try to uplift the spirits of anyone who is down in the spirit. We try to make them laugh and have a bit of happiness to forget today's sorrows. Joy and laughter heals a multitude of sadness." Now, it's interesting that the story has two jesters. Why two? Irma Bombeck once said, "There's a fine line that separates between laughter and pain, comedy and tragedy, humor and hurt." Robin Williams died tragically. John Belushi died tragically. Lenny Bruce, Chris Farley, they all met tragic ends as well. However, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, frickin' frack. Why two? Because even jesters need someone to cheer them up. The implication of the tale is that the rabbi isn't going into the world to come. Why? The rabbi is a theoretician and doesn't practice. But the others put the principles of Torah into practice. Without the first fruits, without the Bikurim, is just an empty basket. And it will not be presented to Hashem at the Beis HaMikdash, the Beis HaMikdash. In like manner, without the principles of Torah being put into practice, the rabbi will not be presented to Hashem in the world to come. The rabbi was an empty basket. In Rambam's words, most of the Torah's mitzvos are counsel given from He who is of great counsel, and they're designed to improve our character and to make our conduct upright. God is not only interested in what we do, but also and primarily in whom we are. And I refer to the gears and cogs that make up our personalities and our motivations, and whom we can become. The Torah instructs us to walk in God's ways. The sages say this means, just as El Shaddai is called compassionate, the sages say that you must be compassionate. Me too. Just as the Holy One, blessed be He, is called gracious, so we must be gracious. As Hashem is called righteous, so we must be righteous. Just as Ha-Abhir is called holy, so must we be called holy. Chag Sameach, and be happy.